And Tyler Dunn, who comes on this show frequently,
journalist.
Has a great website. Yeah, he's a good journalist. He wrote an intricate piece about the head coaching process that the Bills were going through. And one of the things he says the Bills learned was that teams around the league felt, quote, that the Bills defense was elementary by modern standards. Adding that architectural design, game planning, and play calling were reconfirmed as major problems. And I will tee you up by saying Mr. McDermott, the coach they ran out, was a defensive guy in charge of the defense.
Well, the best defensive coaches in the league right now are D'Amico Ryans and Mike McDonald, and they're young guys. And just because you're an offensive coach doesn't mean you're Ben Johnson or Sean McVay. Is that I don't know the schemes. I didn't think they had the greatest defensive personnel. I think they had to move off guys 2 years ago for cap issues, and they moved off more people. So they had to make decisions as an organization, and they've hit on more of their offensive picks than defensive picks. If I had right now, Chicago's 10 best players, 8 are on offense. Of the 10 best players for the Bills, 9 are on offense. I can live with it. I think you can win a Super Bowl that way. It's not ideal. You know, the Rams' 10 best players, it's like 5-5, right? That Seattle's 10 best players, it's about 5-5. That's ideal. You'd like to have, as long as the coach, if whatever the coach is, that should be the best side of the ball. The Rams, even with their defensive personnel, their offense shredded the Seahawks multiple times this year. Like Ben Johnson, you can draft defensive players. That offense with Ben's always going to be the soul of the team, the heart of the team. So my take is, and I think you and I said this, for a defensive coach, it didn't feel, a lot of times you're going up to Buffalo, the weather's crappy, you have a defensive coach, and teams march up and down the field on it.
Yes, the defense clearly dropped the ball countless times. And we know a huge portion of the blame falls on Sean McDermott. Listen, some of it was due to injuries, poorly timed injuries that were then immediately exploited. But Sean McDermott did an absolutely terrible job of coaching players up, developing talent, in a way that we have seen even someone like Robert Saleh accomplish with the 49ers in just one season. We have seen other franchises manage to do the same. Spagnuolo in Kansas City, and so on. Even when the Bills had their guys, we are still operating under this mindset because they did have a year or two where they boasted a genuinely excellent defense in terms of points allowed per game. But then in the playoffs, they got shredded, and the excuse was always, oh, well, it was just Patrick Mahomes, or some variation. And no, that is not quite the whole story. Not at all. There were just terrible, terrible decisions and terrible, terrible calls. Look at the game against the Jaguars. Look at what that defense was surrendering and what Josh Allen had to do in response. It was just touchdown, 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 touchdown. 11 plays, 62 yards, touchdown. Now they are down 13-16. What does Josh Allen do? He marches them right back down the field. 9 plays, 65 yards. Takes the lead, 20-17. And then what happens on the very next drive? 10 plays, 77 yards. The defense gives up another touchdown. And it is like, oh my God, now Josh Allen has to march down the field again. Another 9 plays, 66 yards, touchdown. And then, fortunately, they made one good defensive play, but honestly it was not the best throw by Trevor Lawrence, and time was also running out. But the fact that you have a defensive coach, a coach who, by this point, has all the experience in the world, right? You are the Buffalo Bills, and you are giving up multiple touchdowns in the fourth quarter. You get the lead, and then you immediately lose the lead, give up another touchdown. It is pretty bonkers. And then against the Denver Broncos in the fourth quarter, you are down 23-17. Josh Allen, 9 plays, 85 yards, touchdown, 24-23. Then a bad drive by the Broncos, 3 plays, 3 yards, punt. Okay, great. And then what does Josh Allen do? He gives you a cushion. 13 plays, 68 yards, field goal, 27-23. And then you just give up chunk play after chunk play after chunk play. 11-yard pass, 25-yard pass, 26-yard touchdown pass. Just getting absolutely torched to give up a touchdown and now be down 27-29. And what does Josh Allen have to do? Back again. 8 plays, 41 yards, game-tying field goal. In those 2 games alone, they averaged giving up 28.5 points. 28.5 points. For comparison, the Patriots gave up 3 against the Chargers, 16 against the Texans, 7 against the Broncos, and then 29 in the game they finally lost, 29 against the Seahawks. Even in a game with Matthew Stafford, which was the most points they surrendered, it was only 27 points, 31-27. And a big reason it should have been only 20 was because of a terrible penalty by a player who makes a great stop and then essentially runs to the sideline yelling at all the Rams players. Other than that, they do not even score a touchdown there because the next play, I think it was Puka or Devontae, they score, but that is 6 points. Either 27 or 20. And then 13 points. And then against the Chiefs, 7 points, 24 points, 10 points, 22 points in 2023 when Kansas City won the Super Bowl. Those defenses consistently keep things within striking distance, or consistently provide an advantage for the teams that win, whereas all too often for the Bills, it is simply an absolute disadvantage. I mean, again, even in 2022, outside of the Super Bowl, which was 35 points, the highest points ever scored in a Super Bowl loss, but 20 against the Jaguars, 20 against the Bengals. The Rams when they won the Super Bowl, 11 points to the Cardinals, 27 to the Buccaneers, Tom Brady, 17 to the 49ers, and 20 to the Bengals. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won in 2020, 23 points against Washington, 20 to New Orleans, TW. NT 6 to the Packers, 9 to Kansas City. Again, there are endless examples. And yet, year after year after year, so much weight is placed on this Buffalo offense to be perfect. Look at the Chiefs in 2023 against the Baltimore Ravens on the road. AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs did not have to score at all. They had 17 points, and they stayed at 17 points. They punted. And then the game ended with the clock running out. But what did the defense do in the fourth quarter? Forced a fumble, an interception, and a field goal. That is it. I mean, again, the Chiefs in the fourth quarter, 7 plays, 32 yards, punt, 3 plays, 7 yards, punt. That is the difference. That is the difference, even in a lower scoring contest. There was no extra pressure, no extra weight on the Chiefs or on Mahomes or on anyone else to have to be absolutely perfect. And the defense rises to the occasion in the Super Bowl. There was a fumble for the Chiefs. What did they do? Forced 4 plays, 21 yards, and a punt. Patrick Mahomes throws an interception in the third quarter. What did they do? Forced 3 plays, -2 yards, interception. What did they do after that? Forced 3 plays, -1 yard, and a punt. Those are game-saving defensive stands right there. What do the Bills do? Fumble? Give up a touchdown. Fumble? Give up a field goal. Fumble? Give up a field goal. So, I am incredibly excited to see what new coach ING can bring to the table right now. An elevation of this defense. I am really excited about the moves the Bills are generally making right now and just the overall upgrade in coaching. I have looked around the league too much not to notice that you can truly point to genuine elevation of a team directly impacted by coaching. Whether it be the Chiefs, whether it be the Eagles, whether it be the Rams, the Seahawks, you can see concrete examples where that is coaching, that is coaching, that is coaching. I saw this clip. It was an old clip from 2023. It just came up on my algorithm for whatever reason. And it was, I am thinking about making a whole video about it because it is a short clip. Nick was saying something like, Brock Purdy makes a nice throw or whatever for a touchdown, and he goes, that is a Shanahan touchdown. It was a nice throw, but that is a Kyle Shanahan touchdown because look how open the receiver was. And I always say all the time, look at the touchdowns that Andy Reid schemes up for Patrick Mahomes. Those are Andy Reid touchdowns. I made a whole video unpacking that literally last week or the week before. And it is the same thing with defenses. There are so many moments when you just think, oh my gosh, that was unbelievable coaching. When Sam Darnold threw a bunch of interceptions against the Rams, that was defensive coaching. Those were beautiful play calls. Spagnuolo dialing up the perfect pressure at the perfect time. Todd Bowles forcing the fumble on Sam Darnold against the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. You can point to these concrete, beautiful moments. The one time I saw it within the last however many years for the Bills was against the Chiefs during the regular season. That was the first time I could really point to it and say, that was Sean McDermott. But then it goes out the window when it matters most. It just does not exist when it matters most. And just the idea that this team has been able to get by essentially on pure raw talent alone, without being elevated by coaching, if we can improve the quality of that coaching, can this team finally become what it is supposed to be? It is an exciting prospect. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you all think about the Buffalo Bills and the fact that their defense was elementary? Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let us get into some discussions. Let us get into some fights, but ultimately, let us just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you as part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we are really excited to be part of. I think we are well on our way to doing it. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.